Welcome to the Badass Direct Sales Mastery Podcast with your direct sales dom, Jenny Bellinger. Badass Direct Sales Mastery is a podcast for rockstar direct sales moms who are determined to make their business kick ass. Jenny will share her knowledge of effective sales and recruiting techniques, tips to get what you want from your business, and will interview direct sales professionals and leaders from various companies. The interviews will give insight to how these rock stars got to where they are and where they plan to grow in the future. And now, the direct sales dom, Jenny Bellinger.
Welcome back to another episode of Badass Direct Sales Mastery. I'm your host, your direct sales dom, Jenny Bellinger, helping you whip your business into shape. Today, I have with me the CEO and the Chief Science Officer of LifeWise, Tracy Gibbs. Now, LifeWise is a newer network marketing company that's been around for about 2 years and was co-founded by Tracy and his partners. And so let me tell you a little bit about Tracy. Tracy is a pharmacognosist specializing in ethnobotany and organic chemistry, and he's been formulating dietary supplements for 30 years. He's worked with most of the major brands that you probably know, and now he's founded this network marketing company. And as soon as I heard about it, and we have a mutual friend who introduced us, I knew I had to bring him on the show to talk about this. So, Tracy, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Jenny, for having me. It's super exciting to be here. This is actually only like my third podcast ever, so I'm excited too. Excited and nervous.
Well, don't be too nervous, but this is all about us having a great conversation. So in your introduction, you talked about how you've been formulating dietary supplements as well as being a pharmacognosist.
Right. Correct. Very few people get that word right. So.
Oh, well, it makes sense to me. But at the same time, while the word makes sense, I'm super fascinated in how you got into this industry and what made you want to get into the network marketing and MLM part of the industry for the products that you are formulating now. So tell us how you got to where you are today.
Yeah. So, and that's a great question. And it is a long story, and I'll try to condense it. But first and foremost, I'm not the CEO of the company. That's my partner. I'm the science officer. I'm the science guy. He's like the business guy. Although in my entire career, I've been the CEO most of the time for all of my research and development companies. And that's kind of where my history begins, is I started a research and development company even while I was still an undergrad. I know entrepreneurism runs in my blood. I knew I was going to be in the science field. So I kind of started a research and development company and hired a PhD to work for me in the beginning until 10 years later, I finally got my PhD. By then, my company was already doing about $5 million a year in royalties for different formulas. And just as you mentioned, I have produced formulas for tons of major brands, starting with some like Japanese brands like Shiseido and skincare products. I worked with Kanebo and Shiseido. I have worked with some of the larger MLM companies. In fact, that entire industry knows my name as being the guy in the background who formulates products. Some of them I still have active non-disclosure agreements with, but some that have probably expired. I mean, I formulated all the foundation products for doTERRA. I've worked for Nu Skin. I've worked for Herbalife. I've worked for Nature's Sunshine. On and on and on as the guy behind the scenes formulating the products. Now, I was never really intrigued with network marketing because, again, I was the formulator of the products and my job was just to produce the product and then collect royalties as I sold these formulas. And that led me all the way up to, and I've always been intrigued with advanced delivery technologies. In fact, my first patent was still while I was an undergrad. I patented an enzyme delivery system that breaks down foods faster, so you get an increase in absorption of the foods. From there, I went on to nanotechnology and liposomal technology in 2012, well before anyone even knew what liposomes were. That led me to being employed by Dallin Larson in his company Vaseo, which closed down here a couple of years ago. I was the chief officer for that company and all their liposome technology. It was really that company that introduced like liposome technology to the world. but it was work that I'd been doing since even 5 years before that company started. And it was recently, just as that company folded, that I started working with the dissolvable oral strips. And that is a type of buccal absorption where you bypass the digestive system entirely. And I'm now co-owner of NutraStrips, which is a oral dissolvable strip manufacturing facility. I've always been involved in the ownership and manufacturing of the products that I formulate, because that way I can control not just the quality control in the manufacturing, but I also choose where I buy the ingredients from. And so I know the ingredient suppliers very well.
Oh, that is super smart.
Yeah. So when that relationship ended, there was a Black Diamond distributor from Vaseo that I became very close friends with. Actually, several of them. I mean, there was a lot of great people. I built a lot of good relationships being in that network marketing industry, but being the science guy up on stage talking about the products. Rob Young reached out to me as that company folded. Well, they actually fired me about 6 months before they closed their doors. They fired my entire R&D team and closed our facility, everything. I don't know. We're going down the toilet. I don't know. But either way, he called me up and he's like, dude, I love your formulas. I followed your career. I'm the guy that can bring lots of people, and you're the guy with the good products. So let's create a company together. And he called me literally just like 3 days after I had written a check that was supposed to go to an influencing marketing company, because I had some really cool formulas with these oral dissolving strips.
Yeah.
And these are perfect for like TikTok and Instagram and Facebook ads because they're so convenient and easy to use and they're fast acting. I had decided that I was going to buy influencers and start just my own company selling this new cool technology. But I hadn't mailed the check yet. And then he called me, and that whole weekend, my wife and I talked about it, and we were just up at night. And you know, when God is moving you towards something, they know, and you know it's right. Every time I thought about buying influencers, it didn't feel right, even though I'd already written that check. But going with my partner, Rob, felt right. And so just a couple days after his phone call, I called him up. I said, all right, let's do it. And I ripped up that check for the influencers and called them and said, not going to do it. Sorry, guys, change of plans. And that, by the way, was like February 7th. And no joke, you guys, we launched Easter Sunday. So
wow.
we did an entire unique, and when you see our comp plan, it's like nothing you've ever seen out there before. It's not binary. It's totally different. It is dollar based. So it's not point based. There's no PV or GV or whatever these funky acronyms are. We made it simple. We made it for the masses, and it pays out massive amounts of money because we were going to spend all this money on influencers anyway. We figure we'll just give it to the people that are selling the product for us. So an entirely unique products and compensation plan. And we launched it like 2.5 months after that phone call.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. That is seriously cool though. And I imagine for the comp plan, part of what made it easy to be able to put together so quickly is the fact that it was simple, that you're not having to do a bunch of complex math. And, I literally did an episode on the show, I don't know, probably 18 months ago, around the time that you were apparently getting ready to debut your new company, planting my flag as a network marketing coach, consultant, and trainer, saying, look, if you can't figure out your company's comp plan to figure out how to get paid, if you don't know how you get paid because they've got a 35-page, 40-page PDF with all these charts and all these definitions and all these things, y'all, it should not be that hard. Sell stuff, grow a team, get paid, right? And yet, it drives me crazy when somebody says, we've got 13 ways to get paid. No, you don't. You sell stuff. Right? You sell stuff, you grow a team. That's how you get paid.
Yeah, a lot of these 13 ways to get paid are only if you hit all these higher stupid ranks and the little there to make the companies wealthy. That you only get paid a little bit if you're at this rank, and then you get paid a little bit more if you do more. And That's stupid. You're the person that started it. You're the person who's out there. You should be rewarded full price from day one, as many levels as the company goes. That's how we look at it. And so we got, I mean, we have bonuses for higher ranks, but that's not a way to get paid. That's just, bam, we just stick more money in your account as a bonus. You get the full comp plan from day one, being active and qualified in our company, and that's it. No, and it's, guys, we have a $35 digital program. It's $39 now. It was $35 when we opened. It's $39. Sure. And thank you, Joe Biden. But anyway, for $39, you're active and qualified in our company, and you get the full comp plan, and it's paid in dollars. Again, there's no PV. I hate how companies say oh yeah, $1 equals 0.8 PV, or the opposite. They're like 1 PV equals, 80 cents or something. Yeah, that's just an additional 20% the company's saving off the top for themselves. We're $1. Whatever. You sell a product, you get $5 on the first level, $4 on the second level, $3 on the third level, blah, 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 all the way down. Pay up to 17, 18 levels. You're 25 cents at that level though, but still it's there for you. And when you start thinking that many levels, it's insanely crazy how many people can be on that level. It'd be 10, 20,000 people. But hey, if you're making 25 cents off of 25,000 people, that's a crap load of money,
Right, exactly. It's amazing how quickly those kinds of things can add up. And another thing, speaking about the compensation plan, because you and I were talking before I hit record, and what I found fascinating was your the reasoning why you and your partner, Rob, don't take a salary with your company. Can you talk about that? Because I think it's absolutely brilliant, and network marketers are freaking out right now based on what's been going on in the industry. So this really speaks to that. So tell the story about how you guys came to the decision to not take a salary, and how do you get paid as the founders of the company?
Well, yeah, I mean, we called the company LifeWise for a reason, because we literally wanted people to live their life wise, to live wisely. And wisdom is the application of correct knowledge, not the application of knowledge, because you can be lied to and that could be your knowledge and it could be crappy and you'll go out of business. All of these, I'm sorry, I shouldn't bash on other companies, but a lot of these other company CEOs just lie to you. And they create stories behind the products that are bogus. I know I was a part of that for years, because I would create the product and then some other guy would get up on stage and say how he created the product. They're paid chief science officers when I was the guy in the background doing all the work. They're liars. I'm sorry, but this industry is innately made of liars. So we didn't want that. We wanted to apply truthful wisdom in your life, which is LifeWise. And in order to do that, in order to keep us honest as owners, because what we're seeing nowadays is owners keep changing the comp plan to favor the company, or they're closing the company to go to this influencer marketing, affiliate marketing, or whatever they call it, right? Either way, it screws the distributor, the entrepreneur, and the single mom trying to make an income. So that would never happen, Rob and I decided, because number one, we were both already well-to-do. We already owned the building. We already owned the company. We already owned the formulas. We didn't owe anybody money. This company was debt-free from day one. We used our own money to start it. And it's not like we're paying ourselves back because we're building equity in the company. We decided that we would be distributors. And we would go out and recruit people and get paid just like them. And I'll tell you what, we learned that our comp plan was not perfect within 5 months. Because we were out there recruiting. I had 2,000 people in my downline. And yet I was only making about $1,400 a week or do something. I'm like, Rob, something's wrong with our comp plan. We got to up the numbers or do something. And Rob did the same thing. And so, we changed the numbers after 6 months and made them more beneficial for the distributors, because we were distributors and we needed to be paid more. It was awesome. In the 18 months, we've made 2 major changes to the comp plan, always in favor of the distributor. And our distributors now are loving it. I mean, literally first weekers. I guess we can't state numbers or make claims or anything, but I got first weekers making more in their first week than they made in their lifetime with other network marketing companies. We have one guy that was at Viseo. He's special needs. He's a great guy. And I don't know if it's autism or what it is. I just love the guy. He's an amazing guy, and he's got the biggest heart ever. He couldn't sign up one person in the 5 years I knew him at Viseo. I was chief science officer, but I worked with this guy. He was the one always asking questions for him and his mother. He still lives with his mother. He joined LifeWise because he and I have a great relationship, and so does him and Rob. They're just great people. They really are Jesus followers, okay?
Aww.
This guy, in his first 6 months with our company, earned the gold cruise and got a free cruise and is earning money. And he's special needs.
Aww.
A special needs person can describe our comp plan, and a special needs person can recruit people in our company. That's how simple it is. And that's why we built this company, for the least of these. For the people who have never made it in network marketing, they can make it at LifeWise.
Oh my gosh, I love that so much. Like, because I think that's a really important thing. The industry has been around for over 60 years now, all told, right?
Yeah.
And so there's people who have had some positive, negative, experiences. So I think that a really important piece is to talk about that availability for people to be able to make money so early in their journey with your company. So I think that's a really cool thing. So let me see. Ooh, I like this one. Okay, so I was writing down some questions beforehand because, you and I had never talked before we sat down on this Zoom today. So you've been in the formulation. So now we're going to pull away from compensation and go to products and the types of products that you guys have at LifeWise. What is it that gets your juices flowing to create and formulate a product? How is it that you come up with these ideas, and what are you taking into consideration when creating a product for your company?
Yeah, a great question, because it boils right down to, what do you guys need to successfully work and grow your business?
Right.
If I created a product for fungus, how many people have that, and how are you going to go out and sell that when maybe only 1 in 100 people need that? So the first thing I look for, what are the greatest needs in the United States right now? I mean, you take a look at like the sleep market. 68% of Americans suffer with sleep disorder. So you, as a distributor of our company, that's 7 out of 10 people. So 7 out of 10 people you're going to talk to need this product.
Yeah.
Energy. I mean, you talk to 8 out of 10 people, they want more energy.
Yeah.
So I look at where the greatest needs are, and we follow that. We've got a great sleep product. I've got a great cognitive and cancer. We have a immune product, because when we started the company, like, immune was still hot. People were still coming down off the whole, C thing.
Yes, exact. That large, well-known event that happened a few years ago.
And so we happened to find a literally 22 global patent peptide. This was before peptides were popular. This was 2 years ago.
Ooh.
Got the exclusive rights to this peptide, which is an immune command signal that has multiple, 147 some odd clinical studies. 45 of them are peer-reviewed, published clinical studies. Anyway, it's a crazy peptide.
Really?
That we own the exclusive rights to now in the network marketing industry. Anyway, I look at people's needs, and I look at what will make you successful as a person out there selling our products. We do have products in all the major categories because those are all the easy ones to sell. Of course, we've got an anti-aging beauty product. We have an immune product. We have the best whole food multivitamin in the world. And this is something that all of my LifeWise followers know about me. I'm highly competitive. I play 5 a.m. basketball in the morning with a bunch of 20-year-olds, and I'm 54. Stop competing. And I'm the same way in my work. If I see a product out there that's pretty cool, I want to make it better. I want to produce something that is better than my competition. And so I'm always out there innovating. And I am kind of at the top of my game right now. I mean, I'm not going to toot my own horn, but I'm a really good formulator, and I have companies all over the world seeking me out to do contract work for them. A lot of pharma companies and whatnot. When it comes to the natural ingredients, I'm a purist. I'm a whole food purist. So our products, the majority of them are vegan. We have a couple for like joint health that are not vegan, but for the most part, they're vegan. They're, all artificial sweetener and preservative free. I don't do anything with preservatives. I don't even use synthetic isolated vitamins like vitamin B1, thiamine monohydrate. Show me a thiamine monohydrate tree. Doesn't exist. Nowhere. Or an ascorbic acid tree for vitamin C. Those aren't foods. They're synthetic isolated vitamins.
Right.
And I don't use those in any of my products. I use only whole foods. My whole food multi reads like sesbania, holy basil, lemon peel extract, guava, this and that, spirulina, contain the following vitamins and minerals. And then it's got over 100% of all your daily vitamins and minerals in it from these foods.
Oh, wow. That is awesome. So it sounds like you have a variety of delivery techniques then as well. So I've heard you say the whole food, is that capsules or a tablet?
So our whole food multi, and you're going to love this, are chlorophyll-based capsules. So we literally even the capsules are healthy. So
that's amazing.
The one product that is a capsule product is that whole food multi, and it's chlorophyll capsules. I think our best sellers, well, that's one of our best sellers, but people are excited about these strips. And these, I'll just show you how you use it. You open this up and you place the strip on your tongue. It sticks to the roof of your mouth. So I'm going to have a little lisp here for about 30 seconds because it's stuck up on my mouth. Where you have a ton of capillaries up there, just like sublingual. It's called buccal absorption. And I'm absorbing these actives into my bloodstream right now, completely bypassing my digestive system. And that was a mental clarity strip. So literally within like 3 to 5 minutes, this is going to hit my brain.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
What kind of, now the ADHD person in me is like, wait a minute, clarity? Tell me more. Like, what kind of ingredients do you have in there? Like, what kind of focus is it working on?
It's alpha GPC, it's acetylcholine. I have vinpocetine in here, which has multiple clinical studies for memory recall. In fact, vinpocetine is actually a prescription drug, by the way, in the EU.
Oh, okay.
For dementia patients. In the United States, though, because it's a periwinkle extract, it's considered still natural. It's not a prescription drug, but it works great. Like memory recall is so fast when you take vinpocetine. I have theobromine in there.
Okay.
20 milligrams, just a small amount of natural caffeine from green tea. What else is in there? Oh, L-theanine and GABA.
Okay. All right. So my background, for my listeners who've been listening for 3 years or 5 years or more, know that my background is in science. I was a science teacher and I grew up as the daughter of a doctor. So I got to learn all kinds of things that most people don't hear about or learn just from being around my dad, So that is fascinating. You have a delivery system of strips, capsules. I know there was a powder you showed me earlier. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I do specialize in advanced delivery mechanisms.
Okay.
And that's what I have done pretty much my whole life, is worked on patenting these advanced delivery mechanisms. And what some people don't understand is you have to match the delivery mechanism to the molecule. You can't just say we're a liposomal company and then do everything in liposomal magnesium. That's stupid. Magnesium doesn't need to be in a liposome because it's trying to call me here. It doesn't fit the delivery. And you can't make nano out of calcium and magnesium because they're macromolecules.
They're massive. Yeah.
Massive. They're like 2.5 microns. So you got to match the delivery mechanism with the right molecule. And that's what I've done. Things that will be a nanotechnology that can fit on this strip, I put on the strips. Things that are whole food, I use enzymes because enzymes are what break down food molecules to basic proteins, fats, and sugars, right?
Yep.
Those are your digestive enzymes. A lot of people are lacking digestive enzymes, so I use a patented enzyme delivery system for my whole food products. What else? Yeah, we do use liposomes for some of our lipid-based ingredients. I've got a great liposomal, I don't have it with me here, but it's a soft gel capsule with a patented SMEDS delivery technology, self-micro-emulsifying drug delivery technology is what SMED stands for.
Oh, that makes sense to me, but I'm sure everybody else is going to have to go Google that.
Well, that again, I specialize in delivery technologies. Basically, what that ensures you is that you're going to be getting 100% of the nutrients that I put in my products. You don't have to worry about, and I get these questions all the time. What percentage bioavailability is your product? People ask those questions because they've been lied to by other companies and they don't even understand the question they're asking. Bioavailability is not assimilation. They're two different things. I can get ingredients in your bloodstream. That's bioavailability. But assimilation is, does your body then use those nutrients by the cell? And people kick out that absorbed at the cellular level all the time. And again, they say that and they don't even know what they mean when they say that. They're just brainwashed distributors who are regurgitating what they were told by their upline.
Right.
But yeah, our products maximize the potential for your body to assimilate those. And bioavailability ratios depend on the person. It doesn't depend on the technology, because you might have celiac or Crohn's or something like that, which inhibit your absorption, which is why we do most of our things in strips and bypass the GI tract entirely. But if you do a whole food product with this, of course, it's going to have a patented enzyme system so where whether you have celiac or Crohn's or IBS or some other assimilation, problem in your body, the product will be digested for you.
Oh, that's fantastic. That is I love that. And that's so smart, especially, because one of the conversations I had with another company that I've partnered with, because they have some brain health items. And as somebody with ADHD, I also have attracted a largely neurodivergent audience. And surprise, entrepreneurs seem to be very ADHD in that sense. And one of the things I talked about is the easier we can make it for an ADHD person to take the product, the more likely they are to do it. Because if there's multiple steps involved, so for example, if there's a capsule involved, it's not just taking a capsule. It's grab the capsule, get the drink to go with it, and then you have to do that, right? You got to have water or something to wash it down, right? Yep. But having something like those strips is so freaking brilliant.
Yeah.
And the fact that it just completely skips, because what I was talking about was doing gummies.
So I've done market surveys on that, and it's really difficult to do gummies with multiple products because, for example, we interviewed a bunch of mothers and they were only willing to give like 2 or 3 gummies a day to their kids because there's a mental block. They think it's candy.
Yeah.
It is. There is lots of coloring and sweeteners and pectin and all that other stuff in there that, over time might not be good for the kid.
Sure.
Or your child, or good for adults for that matter. So, and gummies, by the way, are very costly to manufacture and they're costly to ship because they're larger. So to put 120 in a bottle, it's a great big bottle.
Yeah.
And your shipping costs go down. At LifeWise, we give free shipping on everything. And so we love packaging because if I were to send like a box of something, that's $5.90 at the post office because it's a package. This, however, is considered a document.
Okay.
So this is the document. So it's like anywhere from 65 cents to $1.25 to mail for a 30-day supply. So I just did $4 off of my costs by putting them in these. And here's what's cool. Look at all the science I can fit on these cards. So you can pass these out as samples when you're done with them too.
Oh, that is so smart because, the nice thing is people are going to have those questions. And if you have those strips attached to where they can now also have the marketing material with it, it's so great. So I think that has been really intelligently done. So you are here on the 6-Figure Success mini series within the podcast here. So can you share with us what the journey was like from 0 to your first company 6 figures for LifeWise? What are you really glad that you did on that journey?
Well, and even as a distributor now, I am earning 6 figures as a distributor. So our company I mentioned at the beginning, we had a couple hiccups. I mean, literally, we launched 2.5 months after Rob and I said, yes, let's do this together, right? And then it was like, do this. I'm like, oh yeah, I know a guy that can do the programming. And well, I've got the formulas. I just need to get them manufactured. And, he's like, all right, let me work on the comp plan. So, I mean, it was just a collaboration. We're both very experienced businessmen. And so it was just contact after contact, and things just fell into place to where we were able to do it. But once we launched, I remember we're sitting there in his living room as people were going to the website and signing in and watching those numbers, 5,000 some odd people the first day, just from our existing connections. It scared the crap out of us because we're, I got to boost up the inventory. Oh, I got to do this. I did it. We had all the growing pains. We were sold out of our most popular product for like 3 weeks. That was hard. That was really hard because it hurts people. It hurts the distributors. It hurts your ability to earn an income when you can't sell the product, right?
Right.
So we learned our lessons on that, and we invested a lot more heavily into our inventory. We streamlined again. I own the manufacturing facility, so I streamlined and prioritized a lot of the raw materials that we carry for the company. So hopefully we'll never experience another sellout again unless some monster comes on with 50,000 people in 2 days, and joins the company. Then we'd be like freaking out again. But there are definitely growth pains. The growth pains for us mostly were in the IT department because I'm not an IT person. Neither is my partner. And just out of the blues, we were experiencing IT problems. And this is where I really feel, and a lot of people don't like saying this. I have no problem saying it. I really think God is leading this company, at least leading and putting things into my mind and other people's hearts. Because just when we were at the peak of having a huge IP problem, an old contact of ours who is like an IT professional called us up and he said, hey, you guys have been on my heart. Do you need any help? And he volunteered to help us out. And so we're like, no, we want to hire you. Let's get you on board. We even gave him a percentage of ownership in the company too, because we want this guy. We need this guy. You should always bring on people that have what you don't have, right? People smarter than you in other areas. So he's my partner now too. So there's 3 of us, and he handles all the IT. He's a great marketing guy as far as design and graphic artists and everything. And that's how it's been our whole journey. Is every time we thought there was going to be a huge problem, man, something happened that solved the problem. So I'm sorry to say that we didn't really struggle. We struggled with stress because we were stressing out. But every time we started to stress out, a solution popped up. So we've been really lucky that way. We've been really blessed.
There you go. I was going to say, it sounds like you were able to identify the problem enough such that you could ask for the solution to the problem to be presented, right? And it presented itself. And regardless of whether somebody thinks it's God, source, universe, you have your belief and it's your company, right? And so I think that's a really awesome way to be. And like I said, I think it's fantastic the way that you guys have put yourselves in with the field. So you know exactly what it is. And, especially given the nerves, the anxiety in the industry right now around a lot of people curious if their company is going to make that shift to an affiliate model, or I've heard it called an omni-channel model, whatever that means. I'm not even sure what that means, right? I mean, if I don't know what it means, I can only imagine what the feels about it. Like, what is omni,
Yeah. If they make less money the next month, then they got screwed. That's basically what it ends up coming down to.
Yeah. And so I think it's really important that you guys are actually in there with everybody so that people know that, look, they're not going to do anything to take money out of their own pockets because they're literally in the field with us. And I think that's fantastic. So Tracy, we've talked about some of the products that you've had, and you've actually offered for our listeners to get a sample of one of your newest, most popular products. Tell us a little bit about the sampling that they're going to get.
Yeah, so I studied the market closely, obviously, and say what's out there. And about 2 years ago, when we had this huge energy boom that was coming out there, I don't mean energy as in like oil and electricity. I mean, everybody was downing the energy drink, and they were looking for the best way to get energy and nootropic and everything. All I saw was caffeine and sugar. And yeah, everybody fairy dusted it with the guarana and all the other herbs that are the trademark name herbs out there. And all they're doing is burning out their adrenals. It's so unhealthy. And you're going to cause weight gain. Adrenal burnout's a huge issue, especially if you're talking these, I'm not going to name brands, but a lot of those cans that you find in your supermarkets and convenience stores that have 200, 300, 400 milligrams of caffeine and 50 grams of sugar. And I'm sorry, but they're like $3, $4 sometimes a can for these. I'm not exaggerating. I can name you the brands. You know, a very popular one's $2.80. Another one's $3.50. And you're doing these 2 or 3 times a day. Guys, I mean, that's like spending money on a pack of cigarettes, $9 a day, where, you know, you're not living life wise. You're destroying your body and ruining your income, even though you think you're getting energy. So I wanted a natural solution for energy. And so I did all these surveys and I asked people what they wanted for energy. You know, the crazy thing is that most people wanted mood and they wanted to feel good. It is not equal to energy. In fact, some people, when you drink too much coffee, you get bad energy. Like you're jittery, you're irritable, grouchy. I see that with these energy drink people all the time. So I created, and the name is Lift, because I wanted to lift you up, not bring you down like caffeine does. Caffeine skyrockets you, but because it literally is like cocaine, you drop just as fast. And when you drop, you get depressed, you get irritable, and you get those headaches as you're going through your caffeine withdrawals and everything like that too. So Lift is a combination of ingredients that specifically target serotonin and dopamine levels to give you a good mood. Dopamine is that happy hormone, that thing that like the oxytocin that boosts after you've had an intimate moment, or when you hug somebody, you get a dopamine boost. So that's kind of the feeling. This is the happy product, but it also contains maca, ginseng root in quantities that actually give you a boost. And I did use a green tea extract here that is standardized to 50% caffeine. So there's a natural caffeine, not a synthetic caffeine in here. And for the hydration aspect of it, I put most of this is freeze-dried coconut water. So when you mix this with water, and I carry my little jug everywhere I go, I'm getting all the electrolytes that are found in coconut water. Ooh. And coconut water is like $2 just all by itself. Yeah. So you get the energy, mood, and hydration all in one product that, by the way, when I came out with all these different flavors, I did a survey thinking that people would choose 2 or 3 flavors. They chose all 5 of the flavors. I mean, it was like equal across the board. So for $99, you get a packet of 12 of the 5 different flavors. So 60 servings for $99, which when you do the math is only like $1.60 a serving. So I'm saving you money. I'm giving you good energy, good mood, and good hydration, all in a natural, wonderful, good feeling product. And I'm giving away, you'll get one of each of the flavors as a free gift from me for you to experience. So that's the offer.
Oh, that is fantastic. All right. So
it's a 5-day supply of hydration, mood, and energy.
Oh, that is awesome, which I know a lot of network marketers are looking to increase all of that as well so that they can work their business. So if they're interested in taking you up on this offer, you and I had talked in advance that you would like people to send you an email. And so what we're going to do is we're going to put the email in the show notes, everybody. So Badass Crew, I know you guys already know how to get to the show notes. For those of you, if this happens to be your very first time listening to the show or a podcast ever, and you're wondering, how do I get to the show notes? All you're going to do is grab your phone, as long as you're not driving, because that would not be wise. Grab your phone, click on today's episode, and scroll under Tracy's picture, and you will see the show notes or episode notes, depending on which app you're listening on right now. In there, we will have a link that says, here's where you can get your 5-day supply of Lift, getting 5 different flavors so you can try the different ones, and the email where you can reach Tracy in order to request that 5-day supply. You'll need to include your name, mailing address, and your mobile phone number so that way he can make sure that you get that 5-day supply. So Tracy, Thank you so very much for being here. And if people want to know more about you, they want to know more about LifeWise, where can they learn more about you and LifeWise?
Yeah, they can go to tracygibbs.org. That's TracyGibbs.org. And you'll get a little bit more of my background and history there and see some of the products I formulated and be able to click on a LifeWise link that will take you to the LifeWise homepage.
Oh, that is awesome. So there you go, everybody. If you want to learn more about this company that you probably are like, wait, I've never heard of this company. That sounds fantastic. I want to know more. Go check out tracygibbs.org so that you can learn more about Tracy, learn more about the company, and be able to request your 5-day supply of the Lift hydration packets. So, Tracy, again, I want to thank you for being here. I want to thank Phil Harrington for introducing us. I'm so glad he was previously on the show, actually, just a few weeks ago. So, thank you for being here, Tracy.
Thank you. You're welcome. And I appreciate all your questions. Great questions. It was an honor being on your podcast.
Oh, thank you very much. I'm very happy to be able to share that experience with everybody. So, Badass Crew, now you guys know how this goes. Stay tuned because there's another badass episode on its way.
Thanks for listening to the Badass Direct Sales Mastery Podcast with your direct sales dom, Jenny Bellinger. Why are you waiting to go to badassdirectsalesmastery.com? Don't make the dom get her whip. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to share it with another rock star that you know in direct sales after you subscribe to the podcast so you won't miss any future episodes. You can also check out the show notes for links and any contact information mentioned in today's episode. We'll see you next time.